Hey everybody, this is Jorge from Team JVS. Just doing a quick review, obviously spoiler free, on Loki, which is coming out on Disney Plus. I'm going to be reviewing the first two episodes of this series. Overall, this I think is it's just a super fun series, very different than WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier. Um, I think something that is kind of neat about this is you really don't have to introduce an origin story or anything like that. Like, we all kind of know who Loki is. So I think that kind of takes kind of takes away one or two episodes of just building up the character and all that. Instead, what you kind of get in this first episode is more or less just Loki being Loki and introducing us to this completely different universe that a lot of this is going to take place in. You get to meet a whole bunch of fun different characters. Owen Wilson ends up playing a character called Mobius, which I think is pretty hilarious. But overall, you end up kind of understanding this new authority called the Time Variance Authority. So throughout this episode, you kind of see Loki and Mobius kind of tag teaming a little bit back and forth, trying to just kind of understand each other. You kind of get a little bit more story about this world. There's a little cut scene in the middle of this episode that goes into a full blown cartoon, and which is kind of nice because it gives you a very good overall view of where they're at. What multiverse they're in, so on and so forth. And that cartoon is hilarious. Um, I do enjoy how they're portraying some of these characters. So, for example, Loki in all, in just about all the movies and all this, there's this cockiness to him. This, he's better than everyone around him. And that translates perfectly here. So I'm very excited about that. This this show gives me a lot of like Rick and Morty type vibes, like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is another one that pops up. Just very out there, but at the same time, like very intriguing. And after the first episode, you kind of just want more and more. From the first episode, I will say one of my highlights is obviously Loki, Owens Wilson character, which is Mobius. And then there's a character named Casey. He only shows up maybe, God, I want to say a total of like 3 minutes, if that. But all his, like, he's just hilarious. Every one of his lines are pretty funny. I'm hoping they use him a little bit more throughout the movie, or not the movie, but throughout this show, just as comedic relief and all that. Um, and that's kind of episode one. Episode one, I think, was a really good builder on what's to come. And obviously, you have to understand where they're currently at to understand kind of like what's going on. Episode two jumps kind of right into the thick of the action, and they start kind of understanding that there's a variant that's off, that's causing issues in the world. Right here you kind of start seeing Loki and Mobius become a somewhat of a team, and it's a pretty neat team. I would not compare this to the Falcon and Winter Soldier in terms of that type of team, but here it's at the end of the day, Loki's just a mischievous little character, and you get to see that in all its glory. Something that you do start seeing though is Loki kind of, in a way, because of his cockiness, almost gets the best of him, because obviously Mobius knows this, so he'll throw little jabs in there, as well, hopefully you can do it if you're as good as you say you are. So you kind of see him start trying to help out, and obviously Loki has his agendas throughout. You're kind of seeing throughout this show, but finally Loki kind of has a breakthrough about halfway through the episode with this theory on how to possibly stop and catch this variant. And immediately when you kind of go through it, they test it out and it ends up working, which opens up the show completely to this whole new kind of trying to figure out how to catch this person. This is at least from these first two episodes, seems like a very neat cat and mouse type game where you have obviously your bad guy always running around disappearing before the good guys get there. So it'll be really neat to see how it ends up playing out through here. I will say episode two, the final act of it, did have this amazing kind of you really start seeing a lot more, and it opens up what actually is going on, um, who who this variant is, um, and throughout this whole thing it's you know the acting and the special effects and everything I will say are top notch. I do like the special effects in this a lot better than I did in WandaVision. If I'm comparing just these first two episodes to, for example, the first two episodes of WandaVision or the first two episodes of Falcon and Winter Soldier, right now this is leaps and bounds better than those shows for sure. Um, I would definitely say this will most likely, if I can just throw out an early prediction here, I think this will most likely be the most successful Disney Plus like Marvel show that comes out. Um, and I think it's because you kind of don't have to build into this, with the way that they're using the multiverse here. Um, I think it's just going to be really neat. I think when you kind of look at it, you have this character who is torn between being bad and being good. When you kind of look through his whole story arc of Loki's, throughout all the MCU, so kind of seeing him in this factor, I think will be very neat. I am looking forward to seeing where episode three goes. Episode two definitely leaves you in a massive cliffhanger, so it will be very neat to kind of just see what happens. Overall, though, I will say these first two episodes definitely a must watch. The the amount of jokes that they throw in there, and really some of them aren't even meant to be jokes, but just the way that Loki acts and some of the wording that he uses, it just kind of hits the nail on the head every single time. But I think everyone was kind of expecting that from the Loki character. But yeah, overall, I would say definitely watch this. I want to hear what you guys think about it for sure. So please, leave a comment below. We'll probably be doing a spoiler review probably later on this week. So be on the lookout for that. It's very hard to talk about everything that's going on without spoiling everything. So that's why this review may seem a little dry. But just note that at least overall with characters and what you get from these first two episodes, you're gonna love it. I think Marvel definitely hit a home run with this run from the get-go. So other than that, I'll say, with these first two episodes, great start to the series. I am so looking forward to seeing what happens in the rest of this series. And I think just like WandaVision kind of set up for other movies, within the MCU and this phase that they're in now, and Falcon and Winter Soldier kind of do the same thing. I actually think that this one will have the most influence on the rest of the MCU. So we'll see how it goes from there. But as always, this is Jorge from Team JVS. Like, subscribe, all our information is below. But until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace.